The following story about Fred Holiday, told by Reggie Holiday, one of the most incredible women and patient safety advocates our quality movement has, really addresses critical issues at this time of the holiday season.
My name is Regina Holiday, and I'm a wife, an artist, and a mother, and I have a child with special needs. And I had a wonderful husband named Fred Holiday. And he was a professor at American University. And he started having pain in January of 2009. And it was in his ribs. And then he had pain in February of 2009, and it was in his back. And he kept going back to the doctor, and they kept giving him pain meds. And then finally, on March 25th, he was hospitalized. And he had tests. And 2 days later, he called me at work and said, "Reggie, they were just in my room, and they've told me I have tumors and growths. Can you please come here as soon as you can, because I don't understand what's going on." And I did, and I left. But by the time I got there, the oncologist left town for a medical conference and was gone for 4 days, where we couldn't get information or access to his record. So I went around for weeks asking for information, and no one gave us very much. And finally I went down to medical records and asked for a copy of his record just so we could understand what was going on. And I was told it would be a 21-day wait and 73 cents per page. The very next day, the oncologist came in his room and said, "We're going to send you home on a PCA pump." And I knew what that meant, and so did my husband. So we burst into tears, and the doctor left. I spent the next 5 days trying to get to another facility just so we could get a second opinion. When we were transferred, we were sent with an out-of-date and incomplete medical record and transfer summary, which meant the new facility could not provide care for 6 hours as they tried to recreate his medical record using a phone and a fax machine. They couldn't even feed him. I had to go down to the local pizzeria and get him a slice of pizza just so he could eat. The next day, the doctor sent me back to the first facility and asked me to get an entire copy as the courier of my husband's medical record. I got it and gave it to them. They read it for an hour, gave it back to me, and then I read it. It was full of actionable data. If I could have only seen it, he would have had better care. Then we took that data, and my husband and I decided we would do everything we could to make life better for others. And I began painting about it all throughout the streets of Washington, D.C. And that is why I do what I do, for my husband and for everybody else, because nobody should have to suffer as we did. And I want everybody to remember, we are all patients in the end, and we all deserve dignity and respect.
We've entitled this video clip, "Remember Your Holidays," so that you'll remember your holidays, your Fred Holidays, your Reggie Holidays. There are patients, there are families, there are laboratory reports and critical loose ends that you know that you need to address as you take time with your families as a caregiver. We know that the handoff periods and holiday periods are those that are the greatest risk for the patients we care for. Please take a moment today and think of those loose ends and those families that you might leave hanging. Please remember your holidays.